Okay, so these are the 2 stump carrot beds for this season. They don't look like much at the minute, but I've turned them both over, took all the sand out and then put it back in again, and it's had it's been disinfected with 1 teaspoon of GS fluid per gallon of water, and both beds have been soaked thoroughly. So I'll be leaving off for a couple of weeks now. We're kind of, what are we, 10th, 11th of March? So it's only a month till we start sowing stump carrots. So I'm going to get on now and start sieving the compost mixes. So I'm going to go and do that now, and we'll set up in the other greenhouse. I'll bring you back in a minute. Okay, so we're in the big greenhouse now, and we're going to start sieving some compost, and I'm using Humax Original, and we're also going to sieve some topsoil, which is going to make up part of the mix. There are other things in the mix, but I'll probably put them on the screen, what I'm actually going to use. We're going to sieve some silver sand as well, which we've got there. I was going to do some jobs outside, but as you can probably see from the glare, we had quite a lot of snow last night. That's the giant marrow bed, and that should be getting uncovered this month sometime, hopefully, and a top dressing of compost before we start sowing marrows next month probably. But I've got a separate video on that which I'm going to do. So I think we're going to get on. I've already made a start at sieving the topsoil, so we're going to get on and start sieving it now. So I'll bring you back in a sec. Okay, so we're going to sieve everything through an 1/8 of an inch sieve, and you'd be surprised how much crap there is in one of these. What is it? Westland topsoil bags. I would say we're going to get half a bag out of it. So we'll just crack on and get it sieved. And that's how much twigs and crap we've got in it. So we want to get these out of the carrot mix, twigs like that, because they will divert the course of a carrot, and we're looking for uniformity at the end of the day. So we need to get rid of that. It won't go to waste. I'll probably put it in the potato bags or something, or just use it for potting annuals. So none of it goes to waste. We pretty much spent February and March sieving compost in the greenhouse, but I think the worst jobs. Not many, but worse. God, look at that. Cheers. Good recipe for a bad back, unfortunately, but okay, so that's 1 bag of topsoil sieved out. I'll just show you what we've got. So that's that's all the crap that's come out of it. You know, you don't want any of those lumps in. And this is the good stuff. So as you can see, it's really smooth, no bits. So we're going to get that bag back up and leave it for when we put our additions in, and we're going to get on and we're going to sieve that bag of compost now. So we'll just show you what kind of crap comes out of that as well. The Humax is really good stuff, so there's not that much rubbish in it, but we'll show you in a minute. Right, that's not too bad actually. Now I've got it back in the bag and it's kind of fluffed up a bit. We've got more out of a bag than what I thought we were gonna. Specially screened, graded and weed free. I don't know what sort of screen they put it through, but there you go. So it's through the 1/8 of an inch sieve, and we're just going to leave that bagged till we start doing our additions, and now we're going to move on to the Humax. Right, so that's the bag of Humax sieved up. It's pretty good stuff, no lumps. So we're going to get that bagged up, and then we'll move on to the next phase, which is sieving up the silver sand. So we'll bring you back for that. Okay, so we've got a small amount of silver sand, which is also going to go in the mix. We've just got 3 small bags, and it'll probably be okay. It probably doesn't need sieve, but I'm going to do it anyway, just to make sure that there's no bits and bobs in it, and then I'll bag that up, and then that's us done for today. We've still got some vermiculite to put in, which will also need sieve, but that hasn't arrived yet. So I'm just going to get on with this now, and we'll bring you back for the next phase. I don't know when that'll be. Okay, so change of plan with the sand. I did start sieving it, but as you can see, it's really clumpy. So we need to dry it out a bit. If we put it in the compost mix when it's like that, it'll just clump up, and we want it to spread right through. So we'll just leave it in here for a week or so till it dries out. So yeah, that's about it for now. Okay, different day, same job. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do the fertilizer mix for the stump carrots, and that consists of 4 things. So we've got some superphosphate, calcified seaweed, sulfate of potash, and some lime, and we need to mix those together in some fairly accurate quantities, and they're going to go with a 31 litre mix of the compost, topsoil, silver sand, and vermiculite. So I'm going to measure these out now, and mix them all up, and then we'll go out and we'll do the compost mix for the stump carrots. It'll probably be a different day because it's kind of gone 6 o'clock now and it's getting dark. So we're going to get on with that right now. Okay, so we're going to mix all this up now. I'm going to go to my notes, and the first thing I need is 56 grams of lime. Okay. Now this is all being ground up in a spice grinder, which you can never use to spice again. It all came in quite granular form, so you want it mixed up into a powder, and it'll go through the compost mix a lot better. I'll have to concentrate here. So what, 56? Okay, so that's 56 grams of lime. I'm going to zero it up. And the same of calcified seaweed. Okay. Okay, so that's 1 mix done. I'm going to need 2, so I'm just going to bag that up as a carrot mix. Now it's worth saying that this isn't the only way of doing this. I have used different mixes over the years, and this is actually a new mix that I'm trying this year, so it's a bit of an experiment. There's lots of resources online for different sorts of carrot mix. A lot of people put next to nothing in, and I've gone from putting lots in to not very much, so this is kind of an in-between, so it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. So I'm going to bag this up, and I'm going to do another mix. So I'm probably not going to film that, but next time we will be putting this mix in with our soil mixes outside, probably tomorrow. So we'll bring you back then. Okay, so back in the greenhouse, we've got everything sieved up, our compost, topsoil, vermiculite and sand, and we're going to mix that all now with our fertilizer mix that we did yesterday. But first, I want to get all the correct quantities into this bag, and get them all mixed up together before I put the fertilizer in. Now some people use have it like a dedicated cement mixer to do this, and that's all they use it for, but I'm mixing in fairly small quantities here, so my weapon of choice is just like a plaster mixer on a drill, and if you do it long enough you can get it incorporated properly. So that's what I'm going to use. So we're going to get all this in the correct quantities into the bag, and then we're going to mix it. Then I'll bring you back when I'm putting the fertilizer in, back in a minute. Okay, so that's all of our sieved stuff in the bag, and now we're going to mix it all up. So I'll film a little bit of me doing that, and then we're going to add our fertilizer mix. Okay, so we're all mixed in. Let's have a look. It's looking all right. Looks like there's a lot of vermiculite in it, but that was the mix. So, right, we're going to get the fertilizer in now and go again, and we'll probably mix it for longer just to make sure that we are incorporated. It's really important that it's incorporated right through your mixture. Okay, so we'll do that now. Okay, so now we're going to add our fertilizer mix, and we're going to mix again. What I'll do, I'll put all the quantities of compost and fertilizer on the screen nowish, just so you know what the mix is. There's not a lot, the amount of compost, but put it all in. Right, so we're going to mix that now. Okay, so we've got the stump carrot bed all soaked and levelled off pretty much. Now I'm just going to show you what we're going to use to sow the carrots. So we've got a drain pipe which is about 3-4 foot long, and the diameter, once I've got the holes bored, the whole diameter will be 3 inch, which is pretty much what I want. We've got a little thing here for tamping down the compost when it's in the hole, and this is to make an indentation in the compost to sow 3 seeds in. Scoop for putting the compost in, and a couple of pots taped together to use as a funnel, just to try and keep it tidy. So we're going to get on, start boring some holes and filling them up, and we'll show you what to do. Okay, so I'll bring you back in a minute. I've marked out the first row, so we managed to get 3 on that row, and we want them about 7 inches apart. So I'm going to bore the holes out and fill with the compost mix, so I'll show you how to do that now. Look at our pipe and our mark, and we go in as straight as possible, and I don't tend to take it out in a wanna. I'll maybe take 3 or 4 goes. So we've got about 2 foot of depth there, which is what you need for your carrot plus your stump root. So that's one done. So what I tend to do is I'll fill them up in turns so that we don't get any stones or stuff down the hole. So we'll get our filling device. We'll just start gently filling it up till we get to the top. Trying to make the least amount of mess as possible. So pretty much all the hard work for growing stump carrots is done before you sow them. Once you've actually got them in the soil, it's just a case of watering them. So all the attention to detail, well, most of the attention to detail is in this stage. So you just take your time and fill it up. You probably need about, I don't know, probably about 2 litres per hole of compost. Kind of getting there now. We've got our little tampy tool. Just gently tamp that down. And then what we'll probably have to do is just put a little bit more in, just to get it up to the top of the hole. God, apologies for the wind. So that's that one done. So we've got a full bed to do. I'll maybe not do the full bed for the early competition, which is what I'm sowing for now. But I'm going to show you how to sow. So we're just going to put our little marker in. So I'll do a close up of that. Oops. Cheers. So that's one row done. So the only thing to do now is I'm going to cover them with fleece after giving them another sprinkle of water through fine rows, and then for the next 22 weeks, I guess, which is how long it takes to grow a stump carrot, pretty much it's just a case of trying to keep them cool during hot weather and making sure they've got enough water. So I'm going to be doing more little videos, probably not as long as this one, during the growing season, and when we come to pull the carrots for show, just to kind of show you how to do it. But that's initially what you do. So whether that inspires you to do it yourself or think there's absolutely no way I'm doing that, because it is a lot of work. I think the video's probably served its purpose either way. So I'm going to stop filming and I'm going to carry on sowing the rest of these till I run out of compost. So thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. So we've managed to get 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 stations done with that batch, so that's not bad. So they should be up in 14 days pretty much. I'm going to put some fleece over them, so hopefully that's given you a bit of an insight on how to do this. So I'm just going to sign off now, get some fleece on these, and then go indoors because I've had enough. I'll catch you later.